Welcome to Delta Waterfowl's The Voice of the Duck Hunter podcast. I'm your host, Joel Bryce, with another episode that was recorded on stage at Delta's Duck Hunters Expo in Oklahoma City. What happens when tradition and forward thinking meld in the duck blind? The result is actually a lot more positive than that question may seem to imply. Today I'm joined by Renard Moody, Daryl Moore, and Ricky Nicholas Jr., three of the fascinating men behind 24/7 Hunt, a brand rooted in community, culture, and camaraderie. We'll talk about the power of social media to engage younger audiences and how this new generation of waterfowlers is blending passion and purpose to shape the future of hunting. With that introduction, let's get started. Ricky, Renard, Daryl, welcome to the Delta Waterfowl podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
you guys are some popular guys here at the expo, so I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely, man. Blessed to be here.
Yeah, well, I feel the same way. How's it going? You got any feedback on the expo for the listeners?
Yeah, it was a great turnout, man. We yesterday was Saturday, as always, the most busiest day, and it was a great turnout. The facilities, nice, good spacious, great vendors and stuff like that. So it's just good to see everybody, and we're one step closer to the duck season. So
Yeah, you bet. Isn't it, though? One thing I like about these kind of gatherings is, I think you guys travel quite a bit for your work, I'd imagine, and I do as well. And so you get to meet people throughout the year, and it's, occasions like this where you get to kind of celebrate hunting and dust off some of those old friendships.
100%.
Yeah, that's the highlight of it, man. You get to meet the guys that you see that you do business with, as well as the ones who support you with what you got going on. So it's just overall a good time, man.
Yeah, beautiful. Hey, for the listener, we're gonna introduce, and for those listeners that maybe aren't familiar, 24/7 Hunt. Any one of you guys, which one do you want to kind of give the listener an overview of what you think they should know about 24/7 Hunt?
Yeah, Daryl, you've been a little quiet. Go ahead.
Man, I think the thing they should know about it is just we're a group of brothers. We met years ago on Instagram. Me and Rick met first. We started hunting together, and then shortly after we met Renard, and then we had Aubrey. Renard and Aubrey grew up together, and man, we kind of just wanted to do something different, just be ourselves. We wanted to create a memory and just do something to show people that they can be however they want to be and just enjoy the outdoors. And man, that's kind of how it started, and we just hunt very hard, and we love everybody, and we just want everybody to feel that presence that we want to take everybody in, just be cool with everybody and have fun. I think that's pretty much a quick spiel they should know about us.
Yeah, if I add to that just a little bit, man, the uniqueness of the group. Daryl Moore comes from Southern Arkansas, Renard's from Georgia, I'm from Louisiana, Aubrey's also from Georgia, and just we all bring something unique to the table, and it just somehow worked. Me, military background, hunting background, Renard, construction. I must say the word fashion, but he loves to create. He loves to design. He loves to do those things. So he brings a lot of flavor to everything he does.
That's not something that I hear too often in the hunting industry is fashion, but I do hear that attributed.
I think it's starting to become a thing, honestly.
I was hesitant to say the word fashion because I don't want fashion to be received wrong, but he's just creative, and he's gonna do things his way, and he's fearless when he does that, and it is disruptive in the industry. And there's a lot of confusion that can come with that, man. But at the end of the day, you melt it down. You got four guys who are absolutely crazy about duck hunting.
Yeah.
That's what brought us together. And, man, guys just been working. It's just been a blessing. And we're seeing things happen that we never even imagined.
Really, that's amazing. I hope we'll get to some of that as we go along here. Ricky, I do want to thank you for your service, 21-year veteran. Is that right?
Man, 23, and it's a
23.
pleasure. It's a pleasure, for sure.
Are you still active?
I have 4 months left.
4 months left.
Sir.
Well, yeah.
My Sergeant Major's calling me right now, and I'm playing.
Yeah, well, that's important. You better take that call then. Hey, one of the things that I hear about you guys is, you can't hear a conversation about 24/7 without talking about family and community.
Yeah.
So I really want to, I think hunting is kind of obvious sometimes, but maybe if you guys wouldn't mind, each of you kind of sharing with me, how did you guys fall in love with the outdoors? Ricky, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first, man. My dad, he grew up a rabbit hunter, a deer hunter, and always wanted to. Always went to the expos and Just wanted to be a part of it. Wanted to do it. Loved to do it. Didn't go to his high school graduation. Wanted to get a shotgun instead, and he just always brought me. And um, I had the worst luck harvesting my first deer, and going and going and going and hoping and hoping and hoping and wishing and wishing and wishing created this burn, that just had me,
Yeah.
wanting to do it. And truly, man, after Thanksgiving dinner, we leave, and that's just it's kind of how we grew up as a kid. And I had no idea that other people hunted,
Really?
I thought we was just a weird family who hunted, back in the day. So that's my background, and I do that same thing for my little boys now.
Oh, that's great. How many kids?
I have 2 little boys and 1 little girl.
Nice.
My little boys they got it just as bad as me, man.
That's good. I have 2 kids, son and a daughter, in that order, and they're both ate up with it. So that's the one thing I like about, I would say, and I grew up with brothers, so that's all I really understood. And so I was a little intimidated when I found out we were having a girl. But one of the things I like about it is you can love your kids equally, but I get to love them differently.
Yeah.
100%.
And they hunt different. My son is hard charging, and they don't hunt well together because she wants to enjoy the sunrise, and she, if we harvest a duck, she really wants to spend time looking at it.
Yep.
He wants the next one.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like Rick wants to harvest it. That's Rick.
I do.
Yeah.
Ricky get one greenhead. He over there for 30 minutes messing with it.
Hey,
I love it, man.
yeah, what are you gonna do? Bernard, your turn, man.
Yeah, kind of like Rick, man. Just grew up in it, you know what I mean? Since I literally could remember. We come from a family of bird hunters like quail, and my dad used to put on a bunch of dove shoots back in the day, and, run his dove shoots in the newspaper, stuff like that. So I grew up with a lot of excitement. Just seeing people come together in general, like all my uncles and, my dad's buddies and stuff like that. And, especially like the dove shoots, you might see the same guy for 10 years. He may live in, North Atlanta, but, every year you'll see him at the dove hunt. So just stuff like that is what really got me hooked on hunting. We used to deer hunt a lot. That used to be a big community thing for us in South Georgia. So just loving, being at deer camp with the fellas, you know what I mean? And that's really what got me, in love with hunting. I know that I can go hang out with them, spend a lot of time, learn a lot of stuff, and just have fun. And growing up around like a lot of older gentlemen, that just, kind of paved the way for me, and fell in love with it. And as I got older, I just wanted my own group of friends like my dad had, you know what I mean? So blessed to, call these boys my brothers, and it just keeps me going, to be honest with you.
That's pretty special. How about you, Daryl?
Hey, I mean, I'm pretty much kind of like these guys. So my dad, he didn't hunt, but my grandpa did a lot. And so my grandpa got me into it, when I was like 7 or 8, bought me a first gun and started off deer hunting. He's a big coon hunter, so we used to go coon hunt every night, and I did that all the way till I was like 16. And then when I was turning 16, I was playing basketball, and I would coon hunt every night. My buddies on the team, we live in Arkansas, so it's the duck capital of the world.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, we're going duck hunting in the morning. I'm like, dude, when y'all going duck hunting, I'm going. I'll be coming in from coon hunting. Like, y'all be going, I'll be coming in for the night. And they kept asking me to go, and, man, I finally went duck hunting, and then I was hooked.
Yeah.
I got the bug, and I feel like the bug is still there. Just started grinding every day hunting. We were hunting 60-day seasons, just loving it. And that's kind of how I fell in love. It just was from a kid. It just, I don't know, it was in my blood somehow.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. You know what? I challenge people, and I don't know that anybody's ever done a solid job of it, but, what is it that when I ask you, what do you love about something, it's really tough to put it into words, right? But what do you guys, every one of you guys described other forms of hunting, and then along came duck hunting, it sounds like, at some point, and it just grabbed you. Anybody have a great answer as what is it about duck hunting or waterfowl hunting that's just so special?
I think for me, it's a couple things. You wake up early. It's one of those things you can do with other people. So you get to enjoy that presence of nature and get to be with your buddies. You get to laugh. You get to hang out. But at the same time, you get to feel serious and get to enjoy like that beautiful bird just coming in. And we love flooded timber. We hunt everywhere, but I think all three would say one of our favorite places to hunt is in the woods. And I think it's just something about watching those ducks come in and they break those branches and doing it on public. That's when, for people that don't know, like 99% of our hunts are on public land. We go to private with some buddies and people invite us, and it's fun. But we like the chase of we've learned learning the rivers really well, learning the waters, then just getting in the woods and just watching those birds doing it and seeing a plan come together. I think it's just something about like that. It takes all of our brains. Like, even if all 4 of us are going to hunt together, we're like, what you think? What you think? Mm-hmm. And everybody's kind of like forming these opinions of science that nobody ever has an actual answer for, I think it's just that love of it changes every day that drives you just to want to do it more.
I like the public land as well. Well, you guys ever hunted in North Dakota before?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, North Dakota is one of the last, maybe the U.S. and Canadian prairies. It's one of the last areas where you can truly drive around, knock on a door, and if you're a nice person, your odds are you're going to get permission to hunt. But so private land hunting in the north is a little bit different than I think than having a club or a lease, in the sense that sure you got access, but you have to figure out that property. So in that sense, it's like public land. Not every day is the same, and you have to figure it out. And even if I have a terrible hunt, I feel like I have a little extra pride in that I went out there and tried it myself, and it sounds like you guys sharing that a little bit as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
for sure, man. It's not to go too deep on it, but man, it's a feeling of pursuit. It's a feeling of camaraderie, like the load up, the ride out, the get to the ramp, the boat ride, like all of those feelings
Yeah.
add value to that experience.
Yeah.
I think it brings us back to, like, when you're a kid, Saturdays with your buddies, and y'all just on an adventure. I just think that for me, that kind of
Yeah.
like, what we're doing today. We're about to go to the creek or whatever, like ride the bicycles all through the neighborhood. Like, it's just an adventure. So that's what I think just kind of captures us all with
Yeah, no, it's great.
A human experience.
Yeah.
It is.
A true human experience.
Yeah.
To pursue.
Yeah, I love it. Actually, we should spend some more time talking, because you guys are getting me pretty fired up here, and it's July.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Sorry, man.
It falls right around the corner. So, did 24/7 come first, or did the camaraderie and friendship come first?
I would 24/7 kind of, the name was, baking in the oven or whatever the case may be, but I don't feel like it really meant anything to me until our camaraderie became a thing, you know. So yeah, without, 24/7 may or may have not been here if I hadn't met these guys, but I feel like it is what it is because, we're together, you know what I mean? Without us, it wouldn't be 24/7, but without you could take 24/7 out and we're still who we are, together.
Yeah.
Let me give you a little bit of backstory, man.
Please.
24/7 Hunt 100% would have been there without me and Dow. I don't think it would have looked the way it looked. But 24/7 Hunt, if you go to Georgia and that deer community, that dove community, that quail upland community, they're prominent, they're respected, they do their thing. I think it would look more like a family operation of the Moody family and Waldo and Legacy and Renard and Tripp. I think it would look like that, which, they're still there and they're still doing amazing things. But just bringing in the uniqueness of Darryl, who had River Bottom Outdoors, in Arkansas, selling hats, and me having Blood Deep Outdoors, selling apparel and doing youth outdoor organization events. When you bring all of those different things together from those different regions, I think that added a lot of uniqueness to it and just created a special thing because, I don't know, those guys all have been putting in heavy work in their area and had an undeniable passion, in their own way. So when you throw 3 or 4 of those together,
Yeah. No, it's great. I think, we could just say there's the brand of 24/7 Hunt, right? But at what point did you guys realize that, I don't know, how do I say this? 24/7 Hunt is also a movement. When did you guys realize that it was more than a brand and that you were actually?
I think for me it was when I kind of took over the dove hunts from my dad.
Yeah.
I can't speak for these boys, but took over the dove hunts, so it was my thing. And then we actually got people showing up, like, from just, places further than Georgia,
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is something big. But, I think we all have our different experiences with when we kind of woke up and like, wow, okay, we got something here.
Yeah, I want to take this opportunity. I did a bunch of reading up on you guys, and I could not find an article or a YouTube video where diversity wasn't a subject of the conversation. And I know you guys are proud of that, but would you guys kind of talk to me about and this is for every listener out there, why should every hunter out there care about diversity in the woods, in the marsh?
Well, so finishing his statement with this question, when I found out that 24/7 Hunt was a movement is when I noticed the response that people gave us in the outdoor space. Coming to outdoor expos in the past, I'm talking 20, 30 years ago, you get looks, what's that guy doing there, that type of thing.
Sure.
And over the time where we started to feel welcome in this space, was where I was like, oh man, this is This is starting to turn into a space where you can come as you are. I don't have to no longer wear cowboy boots to go to an expo or a button-up, fishing shirt. Like you really can come in your Jordans and be who you are and buy a duck call and go enjoy this sport. So that's when I noticed that, man, there's a movement taking place. And that was heavy. Um, and as far as diversity, that duck to me, and I say it every year, it's a symbol of love because if you see that, it's nothing but love for most people.
Yeah.
It's a symbol
Yeah.
of I can go talk to that person and it's gonna work out. And tying that to the dove hunt, you're gonna experience something at the dove hunt like no other place. There's no weirdness, there's no confusion. Everybody's there for a common cause, a common purpose. There's fellowship, and that uniqueness naturally goes out and just grows. So I think that the people that are involved and support and have something to do with 24/7 Hunt are special people, loving people, passionate people, and just some of the salt of the earth type people. That's who they are,
Yeah.
you know. So
Daryl, one of the things that I heard at Delta, we spend a lot of time talking about hunter recruitment, and mentorship is particularly in waterfowling. I think with fishing, let's just pretend you've never fished. I think I could take a fishing rod and a tackle box. We could go out to a local pond in an hour. I think you could just go free and hunt on your own or fish on your own after that. But I think waterfowling is one of those pursuits that it does take a lot of mentorship. You're going into some potentially uncomfortable conditions, a lot of equipment, things like that. But all you guys had mentors in your life. Talk about when do you guys feel comfortable talking about just the value of mentorship and maybe your role as industry leaders in mentorship. It sounds like with your dove hunt, are you seeing people showing up to your dove hunts that don't have a hunting background?
Yeah, I think that's a really big thing for us. We talk about dove hunt just because that's an easy one to do. But, like all of us had somebody that took us out and showed us because, we had to learn stuff. Like you had to learn how to read the rivers, what's the proper etiquette of how to hunt. And so I think us now as we move forward in what we're doing and everything is every year at the dove hunt, we'll have like 10 or 12 guys that show up that have never even hunted before. Like guys are showing up and literally I said, I bought a shotgun yesterday when I got to town. I bought shells. What do I need to do? And so we're having to like actually show them how to load their gun. What's the proper way to shoot? Like, 11 and 2, like stuff that we think is like just common knowledge, but the guys are showing up that have no idea and they're learning. And we're like showing them like, hey, this is what you do. Make sure you're safe. Like this is what hunting is about. And so I think for us, like, it's really cool to see it. Like, to have somebody show us how we did it and how to do it and, like, being able to pass that torch forward, whether there's kids, whether it's our kids, whether there's random kids, whether there's grown men. Like, there's so many people that come and they're like, hey, man, I'm so happy to be able to be here. And thank you guys for taking the time and responding and showing us how it's done, And that's kind of another thing what we're doing is, is trying to show people, like, how to actually hunt and enjoy it,
Yeah.
I
the
think.
craziest thing happened last night. I met a guy at an event, and he said, "Hey, man, how you doing? My name is such and such. I work for Benelli now, and y'all got me in the hunting 3 years ago from the dove hunt, and he's now working in the outdoor space."
Kidding, that's cool.
And I was like, "This is insane. Full
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
Full circle." Shout out Waldo Moody for throwing the most amazing
All right.
dove hunts and welcoming and bringing in new people.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
Bernard, tell the listener that's not familiar with the dove hunt, because I did notice on your website you guys actually promote that technically anybody, as long as they get a spot, can go to
100%.
that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. My dad always threw. He hosted dove hunts all. Growing up, and anybody could show up. If you pay to be there. And I noticed when we got when we started nudging in the industry, guys that have hunts, whatever it may be, and it's kind of closed off. You know what I mean? And so we just kind of wanted to open it up to anybody. Kind of take the same model my dad had, but we have a bigger reach nowadays with just what we're doing and the technology and all this kind of stuff. So we just wanted to see if we could how far we could reach people. And so yeah, anybody can come. And kids they shoot free as long as they're within an adult. So that's a big thing for us. And so yeah, it's just one of those things where we want to open up doors for everybody, and we kind of want to emulate that with everything we do. Daryl throws a real nice event every year in Camden with a fishing derby for kids, so like anybody can show up to that. And so with us growing and becoming, we got a lot of responsibility with people watching us and kids, wanting to do what we do, and we had to realize that. So that comes with a lot of growth, and we always want to be, reachable, to the next generation. We don't want to seem, above, what we really are. And so having events like the dove hunt or the fishing derby, or stuff like that people can come to, that means a lot to us. We want to be able to, touch everybody. You know what I mean? And so just staying humble and grounded with, where we come from and what our whole motive is behind the whole brand, and working together with community. That's the big thing. We're big community people, and we all three have similar stories. Just community kind of really is what started hunting, our love for hunting. It's not the kill, like, us killing stuff didn't get us fired up. It was hanging out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's what we want to do all the time. So
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to talk a little bit. I don't know how your guys' duck seasons have been the last couple of years in terms of just hunter success, successfully bagging birds. But one of the things that we get a lot of feedback on, and it's probably been going on for the last 5 or so years, just a lot of tough seasons, particularly in the southern United States. Last year was a little different. It kind of took another step for the worse. You typically hear the big duck clubs or the big private land where they can manage their pressure and food. Typically, they've been insulated from that and had great seasons. But we're starting to get feedback from the southern private landowner, too, that they had tough seasons. And what we're starting to see is a lot of, I'd say, discontent. It's some of the stuff that you've been talking about is, it's community, it's friendship, it's camaraderie. I haven't heard you one time, now, any one of you guys, talking about, all the limits we got and things like that. So I want to kind of transition this to kind of social media. So clearly social media has been huge for your brand, for your brand. But I think social media it can hurt, the future of hunting, and it can help it. How do you guys balance, the clearly chasing likes, chasing followers? How do you balance that with kind of maintaining, kind of your core? I'll call it a mission. I think everybody has their own mission statement. We do in our family life and our personal lives. But how do you balance that chasing attention, clicks, and maintaining that culture?
I mean, go ahead, Joe.
I would just say, I feel like you just gotta remember what you're doing it for. You can never get caught up in the whole likes and the followers. Because at the end of the day, like if social media ended tomorrow, we'd still be hunting. And so I think that's just our big thing is like, man, it doesn't matter. We're just going to have fun and post what we do. If we go and kill one duck, we might post it. If we kill 50 ducks, we're going to post it, So you just really have to remember what you're doing, like no matter where you're at in the space of the social media game or whatever, YouTube, whatever anybody's doing is like, you just have to remember, don't let people be like, people getting ready coming like, God, do y'all even kill any ducks? Because we'll go like a week without posting because we're just enjoying the hunt. Like we'll be out just enjoying, like we might kill ducks 4 days in a row. We might not never even post about it. For like 2 weeks or whatever, because like we're in the moment, like we want to savor that, and so that's what we try to always stay rooted in. We don't never go out there like, man, we got to get a video out, we got to kill ducks, we got to post a picture of dead ducks today. So I think that's our biggest thing is like just staying rooted in, hey, we're doing this because we actually thoroughly enjoy hunting, we thoroughly like the chase of this, and I feel like that's what we keep rooted. Anybody's keep rooted. Like you can't let social media fool you that if you don't kill 40 ducks or 30 ducks or 6 people can kill 6 limits. If you don't kill 6 limits, it's a bad hunt. Because it's not a bad hunt, What's a good hunt? A good hunt to me is just if I'm there and I have a good time. Like if I smile at the end of the day, at the end of the hunt or beginning of the hunt, that's a good hunt. So you can't let social media feel that you have to kill ducks or have to kill a deer or kill an elk or catch a big fish for it to be successful. And I feel like a lot of people get that mixed up in their head that if they don't have something to post after they get done, that it's not successful. And that's not true. So we try to keep that rooted in just posting whatever. We don't kill a duck. We might post a picture with absolutely no ducks just to be like, today sucked. We zeroed, but we still enjoyed it because we were out here. We were hunting.
I got to add to this topic.
Please.
If you research if you go to any of these guys' grandfather house, you're going to find pictures of the harvest. That was done before social media. Mm-hmm. The sportsman has always taken pictures. You can look at waterfowl pictures. People have always celebrated those experiences.
Even down to the gas stations back home.
Yeah.
They got
a wall. You can go in there and put the wall in there.
Yep.
So we don't do that from a place of we need to hurry up and try to generate motion. We do it from a place like I used to print my duck hunting pictures out from the weekend and bring them to work and pin them to my cork board, when I was a security guard at a jewelry store going to college. And so social media happened to come, and now it's the new landing site.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of times when I post a picture, I'll put a carousel up. In my last pictures, I'll throw a retro picture up there of somebody doing this in the 1900s, early 1900s with their picture, just to remind people that we're really all the
You
same
just
here.
made me sound so old. Because I'm from the 1900s.
Me too, but I said early 1900s.
not the early 1900s.
So these guys and myself, man, it's not about the likes and the clicks like that. That's not what drives us, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a photographer. He's
cool.
a creative, and he's been hunting. And you gotta marinate on this. He's hunting 60-day seasons. A 60-day season guy does not do it for social media.
No.
Let's add that up. You know. So great question. I'm glad we're able to speak on it. But that's not the foundation of 24/7 hunt.
And then
No,
too,
and I
It's
picked
now
up on
community.
that.
It's turned into community.
Yeah.
and then we
People are now excited to go with us on this journey.
Yeah, 100%. Even down like just creative and just stuff with the brand side of stuff. Like we do everything because we like to do it. You know what I mean? It's not really for. I mean, you know, we film because we wanted to watch ourselves when we have something for our kids to look at.
Yeah.
You know, so we're just having fun. We're just brothers having fun together, and it just so happened to just kind of spark flame just because there's so many ingredients in this pot. You know, Ricky's from Louisiana. He knows about a gumbo and knows how many ingredients is in that. And so I think with any situation, that's why, it may look a certain way, but, man, nothing we do is really calculated. It's all just
Well, you're doing something right.
be who we are.
96 Bulls, what they call it. But see, Darryl, if there's 3 ducks coming in, Darryl won't touch a gun. He just wants to call and finish ducks.
Yeah.
His mission is to finish ducks. His mission is to have everything go right with boots down, dog on stand, not jump early, clean close shot. If it's 3 or less ducks, I'm pulling out my camera and taking a picture because duck season's only 60 days. I need that picture.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that at 50%, and I enjoy the pictures for the other 50% the rest of the year. So that's all what goes into that whole social conversation.
Yeah, no, that's great.
And
Daryl, do you have any concern, like, in your travels, in your conversations, are you left with a feeling, I'm just curious, any answer is the right answer, but are you left with the feeling that the attention is maybe too much on harvest out there in the world right now?
Man, I think sometimes it can be, because you'll see guys that are like us, for instance, if we're in the woods and like we'll do it all the time, like it'll be a group of 100, right, working. 3 will break off in the hole. Obviously, we can kill them and get get that and put it on the strap, and a lot of guys would, but we won't because we want to get the whole group in. Like even if we don't get to shoot the whole group, if the group leaves, we like the fact of getting them in, tricking them, and just like seeing the show, right? And so I feel like some guys like they'll be out there hunting. They're so worried about getting the limit and putting the strap together. They'll be shooting like singles. They'll start just shooting all of them at like 3 treetops high, or shooting 200 yards out. Don't get me wrong. People won't admit it, but everybody's treetop one or shot one that's like way out there. Let's be real. Like everybody gets out there, you may need one duck, and like but we've learned that not to do that. Like somebody had to show us, say that's not the way. Everybody's done that, but I feel like sometimes there's a pressure for people that feel like they have to kill. Like they don't want to go to the ramp without no birds. Like they'll do whatever just to make sure they kill a limit. And I think people need to just take a step back and just enjoy the hunt.
I want to leave you with something to think about. Very first expo I went to, I saw signs of kills, harvest. It was guide services. And they generate an expectation to compete for business. And I think that was where the seed was planted of that's the end goal, that's the focus, that's the harvest. And when people come in there, that's how the recruitment of the outdoor world happens.
Yeah.
So I think it starts there. I think that's
you're
where
right.
that
I
pressure
think you're
starts.
right.
Because guys go to guide services and they expect what they see on that picture. It's not talking about the experience. It's not talking about that boat ride, that Can-Am ride, that early morning coffee, that breakfast in the blind. That's not marketed in the outdoor space.
Right.
So,
but I do think it's good. We should all want to kill, though.
Yeah,
Like
and I shouldn't have buried why I was asking that question, but I have concerns about the future of hunting, right? Like license sales, no matter what type of hunting. If you look at hunters in general, it's been a slow, steady decline. Duck hunting is probably declining faster than the other types. I think it's expensive. It's access is difficult. But when I talk about is there too much emphasis on killing, I go hunting to kill ducks.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And there's something special about a limit, and I'm happy, and it's satisfying. I'm going to try to do it again the next day, and I don't apologize for that. But that's one of the things that I like about what you guys are doing is that, yeah, you're out there trying to kill ducks too, but I worry that, if people are finding, hey, I'm not getting my limit, I see it all the time on social media, that must mean I suck.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to quit.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much more out there. I mean,
And it can flip in one day. Like, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
you can go 4 days and kill 5 ducks, and then you can go a week and kill 30, So you can't give up because any hunt could be that hunt. Any
Yeah.
hunt could turn into that magical, you're on the X,
That's where that mentorship that you spoke about earlier comes in to
Yeah.
set realistic expectations. That mentorship is important to where that doesn't become more of a problem. So, like, my challenge to everybody out there that's hunting, man, educate people,
I think so.
bring people in and show them the right way.
Yeah, I think so. So 24/7 hunt content. What do you guys feel that resonates the best with your followers? What do they like? What do they want more of?
Dead
Honestly,
ducks.
yeah, they like their dead ducks, but to be honest, the stuff that we like, we'll put something on TikTok, and
Yeah.
for us, a cool hunt, and it won't get near as much as attention as us just hanging out or saying something funny on camera or So I think they like seeing who we really are. You know what I mean?
Personalities.
Personality and just who we are together. Like I think that's what I've noticed. You know what I mean?
They
That's
like
what people like.
They like you like the way you dress. Is
Yeah.
that what they look for?
All that stuff. Because I'm different. I'm
What's Renar gonna wear today?
yeah, I'm a different beast in this space a little bit, and just people want to get to know you before they actually meet you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so anything like that, I think that's where it takes the cake, and I think that's kind of where us and we get. I think that's where our attention comes. So much. You know what I mean? You can look at all the shows like Duck Dynasty and stuff like that. The takeoff is when you let the outside viewers into who you really are on a day to day. You know what I mean? I'm more than just a hunt. You know what I mean? I'm a hunt, but I'm also we're hanging out too. You know what I mean? We're family, we're friends, and I just always goes back to community, and whether that's a big community or a small one. I mean, that's where you kind of build a relationship with people that want to know more about you and what you're cooking up. So
Yeah. I've heard. We're at the expo here. Obviously, there's lots of vendors, lots of representatives from the outdoor industry, and one of the themes that keeps popping up here and elsewhere is that there's kind of this disconnect, which is weird to say this, a disconnect between those who sell outdoor products and those that use outdoor products. And I've heard somebody call it kind of this corporate vibe. And I don't want you guys to get preachy about it. I want to want to put you on the spot and offer some encouragement. So if you were to offer some encouragement to others in the outdoor space to kind of get that authenticity and outreach, what advice would you give them?
I would say let your hair down. I mean, that's the kind of a quote my dad always said. Just let your hair down. I mean, you don't have to be such a salesman, I feel like. Even with your brand, I mean, just have fun with your brand. You know what I mean? I know big companies, have to, I guess, follow all these guidelines. But, I mean, if you're a small brand or company or, personnel, I mean, just have fun. I mean, we're all human, you know what I mean? And so kind of this whole industry is built off of a good time. It's not built off of, suit and tie and following a certain set of rules. I mean, just have fun, be who you are, and show that within your company. I feel like, that's kind of one thing that we kind of strive to do, and it helps us remain free and free with our spirit and where we want to go. You know what I mean? A caged bird really doesn't have a good time, or and we want to be free all the time. So we work hard with our brands that we work with, our partners, to kind of keep us, let us do our thing. You know what I mean? Pretty
bet.
much. And
You bet.
so that's very important to us.
Renar, I heard it said that at one point earlier you started having kids come up to you at events,
Yeah.
and that hit you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah. It's just kind of it shocks you. You know what I mean? Like, wow, this kid knows who I am. He knows everything about us, and even it warms my heart. Like, if I'm not with these two, I meet a kid, they'll ask me where these two are. Where's Daryl? Where's Ricky? And it's just like, man, that's crazy. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's very impactful. And I personally had to learn, like, okay, I kind of got to watch what I do and watch what watch how I move now. I'm some people know me and people look at me. So kids, that's a big responsibility for us. You know what I mean? And we didn't really ask for it, but we're very welcome and grateful to have that responsibility. So yeah, it keeps us humble all the time, every time. Even all the kids yesterday coming up, signing hats and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Never would have thought we would have been in this position to impact people in a positive way like that.
Yeah.
We appreciate all the hard work that the volunteers do at Delta to make this event come together. And when these customers come and these supporters come and they take pictures with us, and they do it every year in different cities, different states, and you have pictures where you can see that child taking that picture with you every year and growing.
No kidding.
You're getting older, they're getting taller.
Yeah.
That's also a blessing, man. So shout out to y'all's team for, creating that space.
Yeah, appreciate that. It's mandatory that all staff listen to my podcast. No, it's not. I'm sure they don't. Probably guilty. I work there. I know everything. Yeah, Daryl, if you're looking down 10, 20 years down the road, what do you hope that 24/7? What legacy do you hope you guys leave behind?
And I think just that we made an impact on the whole industry. We really impacted in a positive way. We helped grow it. We helped bring new ones into the sport, and hopefully we all got little boys. Rick got 2 boys and his little girl too. She's not gonna leave her out. Renard's got a son. I got 3 boys, and I just hope that in 15 or 20 years that we'll be able to come to the show and maybe our boys are here and they're doing something with it, and they're keeping the legacy going. And that's kind of one of the big things that we're doing is trying to teach our boys, hey, this is what we did, this is what we love, and maybe they'll see it and want to do something maybe their own, maybe do their own spin off of it or whatever. But just hopefully that in 20 years that we made a positive impact to the whole waterfowl industry, and that we able to leave a legacy and when we go on.
We'll bring a few more chairs up on stage. Just give me a heads up. We'll bring some more
You
microphones.
bring us 10, we could fill them.
That's good. That's good. Hey, I got 2 last questions. So we haven't really talked conservation. It just hasn't come up. We're talking hunting. But when you guys want to talk about just, they say hunting is conservation. It is and it isn't. But give me an example of your guys' conversations or role or thoughts on, the conservation of waterfowl.
Really? You want to answer that?
Hunting done right is conservation, and I don't want that to ever get confused. Hunting done right is conservation. If you think about just high altitude about everything, people who love something the most steward it the most. And you can get locked in on the harvest, but the people that put in the work that you guys do, habitat, protection, restoration, just all of those things, man, hunters do that, It's just an undeniable thing. So when done right, it is conservation. It's if it's not managed, if it's not watched, if it's not observed, if it's not assisted, if it's not protected, if it's not done right, you'll lose it. It's a precious resource.
Yeah.
I think that's where frustration comes, because as the resource diminishes, you got more people trying to get in there and having bad experiences and whatnot. It's just a precious resource, and I hope that there's a day where everybody in this building can be on the same page and remember that we're here and we're blessed for a shared passion to pursue waterfowl.
Yeah.
And everything should build off of that.
Yeah. Renard, I'm going to put what Delta does in 4 buckets. Research, duck production, hunter recruitment, and then this big bucket of habitat conservation. Renard, which one speaks to you?
I like the research.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like the research. I think that's intriguing. It's real, just understanding the duck and the waterfowl species in general. Just, that's a big job, I feel like. And that, as a kid, you got all these questions. And, your dad might tell you one thing, but, you want to know more. You know what I mean? Just like my pursuit for a mallard duck grew and grew. And then I'm really understanding, okay, I got to go to Arkansas to have a chance to kill mallards have a chance to see them in an abundance. And then once that, I got there, hunting fields, that's where our thing from Georgia, we just always come to Arkansas and rent a field. And, that kind of got, that was always hit or miss. So then I understood, okay, these mallards are in the wood. They're in the timber, so I got to figure out how to get to the river. I got to Arkansas. I'm in the field now, years ago by. Now I got to figure out how to get in the woods. So just learning, the habitat that they want to be in and just like, I got so many questions like, what makes them want to, I mean, I know everything's, you know, in their memory, but like, how do they know when to leave a certain place,
Yeah.
And just, I'm always like, all these different labs and studies and, GPS tracking, you find guys with Instagram pages that kind of, put that out there. I'm always like looking at this stuff like, man, this duck went here, 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 like, why, you know what I mean? And it's just cool, getting behind organizations like you guys that spend the time to try to figure all that out, you know what I mean? And just having that understanding of, what I'm pursuing, you know what I mean? And there's so much research out there done by, folks like y'all. It's just a blessing to be able to have that. And, those answers, those why questions you have as a young kid, like they're starting to all click together and come,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, the research, I feel like you can just dive into it. I'm a big numbers guy.
Yeah.
And I want to know, I mean, the percentages, and I want to know everything, probability and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
I do think all great hunters possess curiosity.
Yeah.
Right. The more you understand the resource, whatever you're pursuing, the more successful you're going to be.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm super excited about the technology breakthroughs and research that's happening right
yeah.
now that's not being spoken about. And I think that we're going to learn more about ducks in, between a year ago to the next 2 years is going to be groundbreaking.
I think so
We
too.
might even learn their middle name and social. Like, it's changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a big part. And I think that the research done in that space is going to develop a plan of action, a course of action, and that's going to make everything else happen.
I'll tell you, even down to just the most simple form, I feel like banding a duck. Like, I don't know, we shot a duck one year, and Daryl run the thing, and it's like, man, this duck's 15 years old, and I would have never even thought a duck could make it 15 years.
They typically don't, right?
That was just something crazy to me, and yeah, didn't know what to think about it.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, this thing really made it up and down the flyway this many times. Like, the stuff like that is crazy.
You said habitat conservation, is that what
That's one of them. Yep.
So I've been blessed to live in a neighborhood with a lot of ponds and a lot of mallards. I get to watch them all year, and I get to watch the predator effect on eggs.
Yeah.
I get to watch the effect of what that next flock's going to look like. That next hatch is going to look like. I'm like, wow. Just being able to see this in my community and understanding how important it is to pay attention to the breeding ground, to pay attention to the nesting, just all of those things to make sure that the survival rate of the hatch is higher.
Yeah.
That's massive, man. I want to just shut everything down and go focus on that in the off season.
Isn't it though? Yeah.
And guard the eggs.
Yeah, that's what I love about hunters. When somebody says, "Well, if you love ducks so much, why do you kill them?"
Yeah.
You just can't even describe it. So
You can't explain that.
So you go, let me show you, right? And then
Yeah.
you look at all the conservation work, and we love them so much. Look, we take care of them, and that's the exact same thing you're talking about there. You notice, you care. Daryl, what about Delta? Those 4 buckets stands out to you?
I like recruitment. I like hunter recruitment. I'm a big people's person. I love people, no matter what it is, and so I feel like, getting more people involved is going to be there for the next generation. Which having kids really puts an effect on, because I want it to be around where they can hunt and have a lot of people they can get to know and hang out with, and have them a community still when they get here. So I feel like hunter recruitment is a big thing that we have to keep going. Like we get selfish sometimes. Going back to the public land thing where. It's like, golly, there's 50 trucks at the boat ramp. But at the same time, that's a good thing. There's 20 people trying to hunt this one spot. That's a good thing because that means it's going to keep going. It's not going to die out. That means that we're always going to have people that's going to speak up and not let anybody cancel out hunting or take that away from us. So I feel like that hunter recruitment is important because we have to bring new people to sport to keep it going and be able to keep enjoying it. So I think that's the big one for me.
Yeah, well said. I think I didn't lie, but I was wrong. I think I'm asking you 3 questions, but this is the last one. So this one is just a bit of a flyer here. If you could invite one person on a duck hunt, dead or alive, who would it be? Daryl, you go first.
Man, I'm going to go with my grandpa. He's never had the duck hunt ever, and he has cancer right now. So, and he's never duck hunted, but he always asked me about it, because he got me into hunting. So if I could take one person and I had the ability to take him and he could go, that'd be one person I would want to bring to show him, like, hey, this is what you put me into, and just to show him the appreciation. I think I would enjoy that hunt.
I'm sorry to hear about your grandfather.
Oh, no, it's all good, man.
Yeah, cancer hit my family pretty hard quite a few years ago. So, yeah, that's another story. Renard?
One person, dead or alive, man. That's a tough one. I can still take, my dad's still up and able. I still take him from time to time. Really just looking forward to taking my son, to be honest with you. Looking forward to taking him. I can go right now, but I really want to. I can take him now, but I really want to. I'm looking forward to taking him on like one of those rough one of those rough ones.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. Hoping that we can definitely share that together. That's gonna be pretty cool.
It's not a slam dunk.
Yeah.
You could be the best dad, the best mentor,
Yep.
great hunter, and just some people it's just not there.
Yeah. So that's what I'm praying for on that end, man. Just hopefully that he's interested in it,
Yeah.
and we're able to really share that together. So
Yeah, I got one piece of advice for you, and it's snacks.
it's not, yeah.
Lots of snacks.
Yeah. He I no doubt on that.
Yeah.
Gummies and stuff.
Ricky, how about you?
That might be one of the toughest questions I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
But Jackie Robinson.
Oh yeah.
I need 42 in that gator tail with Miss Scant back, man. Let's get it.
That'd be pretty sick.
That would be good.
Jackie was a playmaker. He was in a time period where he dealt with some difficulty, but his work was for a larger purpose. A phenomenal human. Like, why would you not get in the ball? Let's do it, man.
That would be
Let me
good.
show you about this mallard.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd take my dad, but that's a slam dunk. I lost my dad.
Yeah.
I was 28. He was 57. So yeah, and he was my best friend and my mentor, and I would absolutely take him. But that's the easy one, right? But that's the great part is, one thing that was in common, we all chose meaning, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
It wasn't fame or attention, it was meaning.
Yeah.
And so I love that. Well, thank you guys.
Yes, sir.
I
Appreciate
appreciate
you
your
for
time. And like I said, that's one thing that is most valuable for all of us is time. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
100%.
Man, I want to thank Delta Waterfowl. I want to thank Migraine Ammunition. I want to thank Can-Am. I want to thank everybody that helps fuel us to help us extend that message out. I want to thank Chris and his crew, just the support, man. That we can't reach what we reach without the support of these guys and these people and these teams.
You bet.
So,
Yeah, and feel free, guys, to say any last words. No pressure, but just offering you this opportunity if there's something that's been sitting on your mind.
Go Gators.
Go Gators.
No, go Tigers. And now I just want to tell everybody that's listening or whatever that's tuned in, appreciate you guys for supporting us. And if you're not, maybe to support us and support somebody. If you see somebody out there trying and grinding, to just give them an encouraging word. And something that we always tell people is, if you don't know Jesus, get to know him. He's our Lord and Savior, and he can change your life if you're in any kind of situation. That we love you, and we just want everybody to have a good life and be able to live a great life.
I can't close this out without mentioning some of the names that are part of 24/7 Hunt
Yeah.
that did not get airtime today that are heavy.
Mhm.
Aubrey Mack, he's taking care of business right now. He's our right hand. He's been a blessing. Aubrey Mack, I can't promise you he can shoot. I can't promise you he can call. I can't promise none of this other stuff. But that dude is solid as a rock. I love him. I appreciate him. Waldo Moody, Warren Miller, all of those guys, my dad, Ricky Nichols. I just thank all of those guys that didn't get to speak today. I want them, to just know their value and what they're doing, the seeds that they planted, and just can't do it without them. So,
Fantastic. Now, for the listener to go learn more,
Yes, sir.
website, social media.
Yeah, website 247huntco.com. Everything on social media is 24/7hunt. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Come hang out with us. Check us out. Hopefully we'll see y'all somewhere with dove hunt or wherever the case may be. Don't hesitate. If you need anything, let us know. We'll try to figure it out. And we think we know somebody. Maybe Mr. Joel can help you out. Do something.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd be proud if we helped you guys just get one more follower.
Yeah. No doubt.
Because I'd be proud for people listening to follow the the leadership role you guys are taking. You're doing it right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right.
everybody that love us, we love them back.
Right on. Okay. Till next time.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you. Thank
You
you.
guys.
Later.
You bet.